because we're going to start with director because we're going to be what is called a director producer machine, right? Because once you produce directors, then you can go to all the other ranks because you definitely just want to get excellent at producing directors. But one thing I want to say, and I want you all to get a notepad and a pen, a notepad and a pen, because this is going to be very instrumental to the foundation of your organization. And this is actually what Jay and I do. Um, this calendar that you see right here, this 2025 calendar, you definitely want to have a calendar and you want to work your business from a calendar. That means working your one-on-ones, working who it is in your organization that you're working with. But the very first thing I would say is to identify who are your runners. Identify where you're going to spend your energy at. Because if you're that person and you're all over the place, I'm gonna go to the calendar myself, and I'm gonna just actually share with you some realistic, attainable calendar goals as to exactly what it is that Jay and I do. And so on this calendar, like if a person calls me, and this is like your road to director, and Jay and I road to regional director. And if a person called me, say for instance, tomorrow, which is March the 10th, and I'm looking at my calendar, I say, okay, I got 3 1-on-ones tomorrow. I got a lunch call tomorrow. And I know my lunch call is at 2 o'clock, and they call and say, Sonia, I know that Macy's got a sale. They got a sale on some shoes. Let's go and listen. This sale is only from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. They just got a 2 hour sale. It's a bomb sale. But if you look at your calendar, you already committed to this March Madness. You have already committed to who it is that you're working with. You already know that you got a couple of one-on-ones. You know that you got a lunch call, but you're going to just disregard all that because you know what? You got to make this sale at the mall. You got to make this sale because this sale only comes around like maybe once every 6 months. But when you're committed to your goals, you're not focused on those sales. When you're committed to your goals, you're not, all you're doing is you're laser focused. You're just like this. You look at your calendar and you plan your day, just like today is Sunday. So what I do is every night before going to bed, I look at my calendar and I do my to-do list. I know what it is I'm going to do. I know what time I'm going to the gym. I know what time that seriously, I map it out every day. Most people that know me, they know by 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Wednesday, I'm at the gym. Thursday and Friday, by 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm at the trail. Most people in our organization, they already know that about me. And so when I'm on the trail, I got my iPod, my earbuds in, and I can actually talk. But I schedule everything around what I'm going to do for my own personal self-development. Because just like they said, when you get on the plane, and if it's any type of turbulence, anything is, God forbid happen, take care of yourself first before your kids, because you can't help your kids if you can't help yourself. So I got to have my own self-care. My own self-care is actually me working out, and I do me first. Then I schedule everything else. And so once I'm actually home from the gym, once I'm actually finished my run and my walk, whatever I'm doing on Thursday and Friday, I already know what I'm going to do. But I don't. So I schedule everything else around it. You heard any of you that was on the opportunity call today, you heard Miss Nikki say that we have a call center. I have interviews that I have to do for that, but I don't interfere with that with my TLC business. I schedule everything else around that so I can commit 100% to whatever what I'm doing for TLC. So if I say that I'm going to launch your business, I look at the calendar first. So have you a calendar, and then when you put your date down, don't look to the left, don't look to the right. Completely focus on what your goal is, but you want to make it a realistic, attainable goal. So like say, for instance, tomorrow's March the 10th. I can't put on the calendar. We all got big dreams and we all got big goals, but I'm not going to put on the calendar March the 14th, Jay and I'm going to be a global director. That's not realistic, or that's not even attainable for right now. And I mean, you got to be realistic and attainable. You want to stretch yourself, but you got to be real with yourself as well. So you want to set some goals. So if you're not even, say for instance, if you haven't, you're an apprentice today, and you're going to say, okay, well, I'm apprentice on March the 9th, but by March, the close of business on March 13th, I'm going to be a national director. Identify who you're working with, but I don't But I'm serious. Look at your business, and you already know who your runners are. You already know who it is that you're going to work with. You want to work with those that are plugged in, that are on 120, because it's going to take like Miss Nikki did, or the video that we saw that was in the that's in the academy that Miss Nikki did about the smart ship and about 120. Now, if this person's saying that they're really serious and they're going to go to director, so you identify who your workers are, you identify who your runners are. Identify that, because if a person, you have to beg them to get on the calls, they're not on any of the calls, but they're telling you with their mouth, I really want to be directed. But if you can look, like we can look right now, and the participants that's on the training calls that we do, the opportunity calls, but they're never ever plugged in. Hey, we're grateful for them because they are doing a smart ship. That's not where you're going to spend your energy. I'm serious. You're not going to spend your energy there, because so then once I identify who it is I'm working with, I ask them, because we can't set a goal for somebody. Twyla didn't set our goal for us for regional. We told her what our goal was back in January, right? So you have them say, okay, what is your goal? What's your deadline? What's your cutoff? And so if that person is, and if they say, this is my goal, their goal is to actually reach director, because this month right here, you heard Miss Nikki say, we're going to explode what we did last week. And so the people that say, okay, I really, really want director, on the Saturday morning train, you heard Bella May talk about her family reunion. I thought that was phenomenal. I've never heard, I didn't even have that. I never even thought about doing that. I thought that was ingenious, to be honest with you. So we can actually learn from each other. What she said, I'm going to implement that honestly with my family, for real. And so those of you who have not gotten binary qualified, I think that's phenomenal for you to get binary qualified, is to implement a family reunion call with your family. You can do an opportunity call with your family. If you've never done a presentation before, your family is not going to judge you. You can actually get on there with your family and do that. And so I strongly believe that if you actually have the belief, if you really believe, and don't look at your back office with these eyes, but from your spiritual eyes, when we going for director, this is actually a March Madness Directors Challenge. I believe that our team, Legacy Bills, I believe that we're going to win. We don't dislike the other team, none of that, because we're all part of the rebirth. But there's some friendly competition, right? There's some friendly competition, but at the same token, if you know that by Wednesday that you're going to need some help, reach out and say, this is where I'm struggling at, and let your leader know. And sometimes your leader can be, Mr. Jason L. Scott, Miss Nikki Alexander. Don't have to be in your direct organization, but reach out. And if they have the time, they're going to actually help you and tell you, this is actually what I recommend that you do, because they've already done it before. And so, just be that person that's teachable, coachable, and hungry. Don't be that person that you see, you look in your back office and you say, I'm going for director, and I'm just going to sit back, because everybody done said no to me. That, if you get on a pity potty, you don't want to get on a pity potty, because I tell a person, if you really, really want to be director, I don't care if you got 0 and 0. By Thursday, it can happen. Look what Bellamy talked about. Look what in the chat today, I saw Mo said she went out to some salons on Saturday and she retailed $1,000 worth of product. But you got to have products in order to do that. Okay, products on hand is cash on demand. And what Mo did when we was in TLC the first time, I did the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Most every Saturday, Jay and I would go here in Atlanta. Most times, in certain neighborhoods, and go to the salons, because most people get their hair done on Saturdays. And so I would really say, like, the foundation that you hear me talk about, build that solid foundation. But we want to cheer each other on in reference to that person reaching their goal as direct. Reaching really a direct. We want to speak it every single day. When you get up in the morning, say, I'm so happy and so grateful that I am a director producing machine. I am so happy and so grateful that people come into my business effortlessly. I'm so happy and so grateful that I attract, successful networkers. I'm so happy and so grateful. So you want to speak that, but you want to believe it. You can speak it, but if you don't believe that that's going to happen, it's not going to happen. Whatever you believe think it's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. So I want to talk, I want to share because I'm not going to take up all the time. I know Mr. Our coach said 45 minutes. I'm definitely not going to talk 45 minutes, but I want to share with you all, ladies and gentlemen, this calendar that you see that I have an 8.5 by 11 calendar. This calendar, I do everything from this calendar, everything. If a person, honestly, everything, if I know I have a one-on-one, if I know I have a lunch call, if somebody called me and I'm not going to sit there and chop it up with somebody for 35 minutes when I already know my focus for this window right here is actually for, like, if I say I block off like maybe 3 hours and I say, okay, this 3 hours right here, I got to cook dinner. I got to do some personal things for myself and my husband. If I block that time off and somebody called me, yes, I can sit there and talk to my mom or talk to my sister or whatever. But if that time is not blocked off, I got to call them when my day is finished with TLC. And so, but when you don't have that calendar of that time blocked off, and then this person call you, now you're on the phone for 30 minutes. This person call you, now you're on the phone for another 45 minutes. This person, I'm saying, till you look up, you haven't done anything with your business that day. So look at your start scheduling your day based on your calendar. I'm talking about your 30 and your 5, your 30 and 5. I'm talking about your one-on-ones. I'm talking about your retail of what you're going to retail for the day. I'm talking about your team activities. We know that we have a call Sunday through Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time opportunity call. And those of you who don't know how to present, it's really great for you to get on there and just take some notes. It's really great for you to get on there and say, you know what, I could see myself doing this. Because what if you actually got in front of, what if you actually had a call and then you said, somebody reached out to you, you said, wow, man, we don't do no call on Fridays. And that person don't really, you can't, and you say they really want to hear the information, right? And then, yeah, you can send them to YouTube or whatever, but what if they want to hear your voice, right? At some point you really want to learn how to do the presentation, but that calendar is really, that's your money. Because if your calendar is empty, your bank account is empty. If your calendar is empty, nothing is going on in your organization. So you want to make sure you fill up that calendar, keep your pipeline full. Keep your pipeline full, and then I always work your business from your calendar. Work your business from your calendar, and because then you're gonna see, wow, okay, even if you got a full-time job, if you got a full-time job, you already know, okay, I work full-time, but when I come home, you may have to cook dinner, you may have to help the kids with homework or whatever. Schedule your time on your calendar around what you already got to do, for your family and for your household. So even if you got a full-time job, you don't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nobody works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can work full-time for your wages, but part-time for your future. Okay. So we planned it out. Honestly, I said on another call 2 weeks, but actually it was 3 weeks. We planned it out for 3 weeks. And I learned something today, actually last night. And our coach had already told me this, but Jay and I had never done it. So we're teachable and coachable. So we're going to implement it as well. Our coach had already said about the 10th. And I was talking to Twala last night. She told me the exact same thing. And I said, wow, actually, Jason mentioned that to me. And I said, I was thinking first to the fifth, but the way he broke it down, she broke it down, it makes sense. I've not implemented it yet, but as of after today, definitely going to implement that. So we actually planned it out for 3 weeks. So what Jay and I did, we looked at the calendar. Actually, we looked at it January, and we said, okay, March, we said March 5th, but it happened March 6th. And we said, okay, this is what we're going to do from January to March. We identified who in our team, in our organization, that we were truly going to run with. I'm not talking truly going to run with. So when we identified those runners, what we did with them was we took 3 weeks out. We said, this is what we are going to do as an organization. We said, okay, you have your own people on your team that you're working with. They're all a part of our team, but you also have your own people, right? So they're still our organization, but that's what I'm saying. So really, I was telling Nikki, what we did was our international team, really our Trinidad team. They said, you know what, we're not going to have you guys to come here. We're not going to embarrass you all, right? So we actually made a decision that we traveling there actually the first of next month, and so we said, okay, we because even when I used to go to South Africa into different markets, I've learned a lot. Jay and I both over the years. We would just get on a plane and go somewhere, and the person would be, I don't know, binary qualified, go all the way to South Africa. our director go over South Africa. This go around, we say, nah, we ain't doing that, right? I'm just saying, I don't care if another person, we just say, nah, I have to make, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And so we have made a decision for us to travel there. We have to have a person there that actually, at least, an executive director or at least a rising star, right? That way, their people that's there. And so that's what we did. We said, okay, they really wanted us to come. And we said, we've done this before and we made a lot of mistakes, spent a lot of money. And we said this go round, this is actually a rebirth of your finances, your faith, your family, fitness, that right, fun. We said we're gonna have a lot of fun, but it has to make sense for us to come, right? And so once we did that, and they said, no, we really truly want you to come. We said, okay, this is what we need to have happen for Jay and I to show. We already knew that Twilight was going, but if you want us to come, right, this is what we need, right? And so it was like, okay, let's go. So that's really what we did, ladies and gentlemen. And now, if you have any questions on that before we bring the captain on, the team it actually the bulk of the running came from that portion of our team. The other people on our team, I mean, like in Orlando, they did some amazing numbers. We have a brand new director out of Orlando, Marissa Duarte. And then we also got our UK market. They'll be director actually this week. So we'll have a new director right here in Legacy Builders March Madness. And so I don't know. I think I overtalked my time, but hope you got some value from it. And I just want to make sure that I'm authentic and I don't I want to be just really real and authentic. I want to make sure that you all are grasping some of it of what I'm sharing, because I always like to just be real with a person. I don't like to, sometimes a person will tell you just enough, but don't want to tell you everything. I like to tell everything. Sometimes a person will be like, nah, I don't want them. No. Hey, God has no respect for person. We are all part of Legacy 2.0, the rebirth. But this portion of it right here is, March Madness Legacy Builders with our captain, Jason L. Scott the first, Mr. Jason L. Scott the first. And so, but I just want to be that person that, that if I don't care, if you're in our team, not in the team, any questions that you have, even if you actually message me, call me, whatever, I'm going to answer your question. I'm always like that. Anybody on the team will tell you, I may not be available when they call me, but I can assure you I'm going to get back with them that day, no matter what I got going on. I'm very, very hands-on. I am very hands-on, and I always like to, because I know how it feels. Jay and I know how it feels to be that person where I don't like using the word a little person. I don't like that at all. But we knows how it feels, and so we've been there before. And so we're not so far up here that we don't forget where we came. We're not up here anyway, but we just always want to be that person that's accessible to people that has questions and the team. So if anybody have any questions before we bring our captain on, because I don't want my captain to come on here and say, hey, we ain't actually talk and do all that what you just did tonight. So
I see Erica Walton has her hand raised. Get Erica, unmute your mic.
Hello, Sonia.
Hi, Carolyn.
This is Erica.
Erica, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the comments, not looking at the screen. Okay.
That's okay. Quick question. I'm a calendar fanatic myself, but I kind of overdo it with the scheduling a lot of times. So how do you, because I'm a full-time realtor and I'm doing this, can you give me an idea how you block your time, especially with you running another business? Do you make make this one day TLC day and then, do you alternate? How do you do it?
That's a great question, Erica. Actually, I don't alternate. What I do is I don't put my workout stuff on the calendar because that's a given. I know that I'm going to do that. God willing, I wake up in the morning. I know that that's what I'm going to do. I know that I'm out the house by 7:45 a.m. pretty much almost every day. But in reference to so what I do is when I get resumes and stuff, I will schedule interviews for my people that I'm going to hire to work for my call center. So I schedule those interviews But but what I do is I already know I got a launch call. I know I have a one-on-one. So when I schedule an interview, I make sure it don't interfere with what I'm doing with TLC. So I will put it on the calendar. I know that we do not do calls at unless it's a blitz. Now it's a blitz and I already got my interview scheduled. I can't get on the blitz. But if I schedule my interviews Monday through I don't do anything on most time I don't do anything on Fridays for my call center. So I schedule my interviews normally Monday through Thursday, but I schedule them like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, at 4 o'clock. So I know we do not have blitz calls at 2. I know we don't have them at 4 o'clock, but I was doing this actually before we came back to TLC. But because I can control that, and I'm the one and I'm the CEO of that, I could schedule those, but that's what I prefer to schedule. Everything else around it on my calendar, I schedule. Now, with me blocking off some time, like you're a full-time realtor, I found myself when we first came back to TLC, like since December, I found myself where I didn't block off like having to cook. I still have to cook. I don't have a housekeeper to come in here and cook. I prefer to do my own cooking. So I found myself when my husband was coming home, and I love to cook. I'm from Louisiana. He didn't have nothing to eat. We was having to eat out. And so I'm like, because I was so busy, so I was like, okay, let me just do this. I would have good intentions. I have out what I was gonna cook. No food on, no nothing in the pots, empty. So so what I did, I found myself to say, okay, let me block off this time right here, and I'll do like a 2 hour block off. I will already know what I'm going to cook, and I will block that time off just for me to say I'm gonna cook dinner, and I'm gonna, cook dinner and just kick my feet up for probably just maybe an hour. That's what I do. And so and I will put it on my calendar. And matter of fact, once I put it on my calendar, I also put it on my alarm on my phone. So I always put it on my alarm on my phone. I say, okay, I set my alarm, even when we got to do the opportunity calls. I know it's on Sundays, but before we had a schedule like we have now, I will still put it on my alarm on my phone, on my calendar, and then I will set the alarm an hour beforehand. Even when I have interviews I set the alarm an hour beforehand, because the top half, I'm on Zoom, I got to get ready. Bottom half, I don't care if I got on shorts, PJs, whatever. So I do that. And then I even my one-on-ones, sometimes I like to jump on a Zoom with the person I'm talking to. And sometimes I don't. It's not face to face. It's not over Zoom. I met a lady today. I scheduled that. A lady reached out to me from Facebook. She wanted some products, and I said, okay, we can meet at Panera Bread. I gave her 2 separate times because she lives way on the other side of town in Atlanta, and it's raining. It was raining all day today. And most time, if you want what I have, you got to meet me halfway. I wasn't driving all the way over there. So I gave her 2 separate times. She agreed to 2 o'clock. I met her. I hadn't seen this lady in probably 6 years. She slid in my DM and said she had no idea it was back, da, da, da. But anyway, but I scheduled that. So I knew what I had to do. So I would say to you, get your calendar, even with your full-time career. And, and I know as a real estate agent, if you got to show houses, if you got to do this and do that, then you control that, with your client. And so, you could tell your client, I'm able to see it. I can show you a house this time or that time. And once you actually put that on your calendar, because you control your calendar, you the driving force of that. You drive your calendar. She don't drive. You're the one that's actually, you have what they want. And so you can say, I'm available at XYZ time, give them 2 or 3 different time options, and whatever that client says, then you can actually schedule your TLC around what you'd already done committed on your calendar. You could schedule like your 30 and 5s on your calendar. You could schedule your your one-on-ones, your follow-ups, schedule that around what it is that you have to do for your full-time career. But stick to it. But also, if you're not a person and then what you doing in real estate, you can also put an alarm, set the alarm on your phone.
That's what I was missing. See, I do everything you're doing. I do all the time blockings, but I still miss things. And it's because I'm not doing this too. So if I incorporate, I get one of my children to help me do that, and then we'll be set up.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well,
Sonia,
yes, ma'am.
when you meet someone and do a one-on-one like at Panera Breads, and do you show the presentation on your phone, or you just talk through it, or what?
No, I will most time if I'm the Panera Bread today wasn't for a one-on-one. That was actually to sell products. I
Okay.
just have that's where I wanted to meet her at. And because that was easy access for me to get off the freeway is easy. So it wasn't too far for me and it wasn't too far for her. But anyway, if I am doing a one-on-one like at a Panera Bread or a Starbucks, I show it on I bring my laptop with me or my tablet, one of the two, and I do it that way. But for me, if I'm gonna do a one-on-one, and that's because I'm seasoned, a lot of times it depends on who the person is, to be honest with you. Because I'm seasoned. Mr. Jason L. Scott the first, he's seasoned. Miss Nikki, she's seasoned. Because I'm seasoned, you can tell me I can think about it over the phone. You can tell me I can think about it over Zoom. It depends on who it is before I travel to a person to do a one-on-one, if that makes sense. So I do a one-on-one, but but if I gotta drive an hour away from where I live to do a one-on-one, it has to be somebody kind of who I kind of know their network or something like that. And but it just depends on who the person is before I actually travel to do one. But I will do one, like someone right here in my back door. Yeah, I meet them at Panera. Most of the time it's Panera Bread for me, and do a one-on-one.
Okay. And do you have to have for you to have it, to do the presentation on your phone, the TLC app, do you have to have that to get the presentation? Because I'm trying to find out. I got the app, but I don't know where to get that presentation that you guys are showing.
It's actually in the academy now. The same
Okay.
exact presentation we did tonight is actually, I noticed it's in the Rebirth Academy. But
Okay.
even if you don't see it there, we can email it to you. I can email it to you, and that way you can just actually access it from your email when you're sitting down with somebody.
I would appreciate that. And thank you so much. I love the way you deliver. I mean, you straightforward, you bring it across, and it's like fire. We really appreciate you. That's for sure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you too. Well, I know my coach is probably saying, Sonia, we said 45 minutes, and I see him looking at me too with a face like, I'll see you, Mr. Jason L. Scott the first.
Well, actually, I'm not even. Listen, you're gonna find that the information that you're sharing is so valuable tonight that I'm just letting everybody be in a calm state so they can receive it. Because what you're talking about, this is one of the most important things that people need to understand. I don't rush through the process when a coach is coaching because coaches know exactly what needs to be coached on. Yeah, I mean, you did a thing that most people admire. You did a thing that most people they saw that you actually did it. So to cut it short or give them half a piece of it, they won't quite get exactly what's necessary. So when people are coaching, that look is not that. It look is like, yo, this is right on time. You know what I'm saying? So you did exactly what you need to do, the way it need to be done. That's the reason why you are the co-captain, all right? And you did exactly what captains do. You steered the ship in the direction of where it needed to be steered at that moment. And there's people on the call, like, as they was asking questions, even for the fact you deliver information that the young lady Erica asked questions about, a lot of people had same questions about that. So you was able to help other people have some clarity. But the calendar is one of the most important things, man. I covered the other day with you guys several strategies that I do when I first get my day started. And one of those things is the DMO, daily method of operation. One of the first things it says is get your calendar. And then say just get your phone. And then say just get your thoughts. And then say gather your thoughts about what you're doing today. And say get your calendar. And the calendar we like to get is a month at a glance calendar a lot of times. The month at a glance that you look at a glance, see where you are, what you got going on, so you can be able to put your life in perspective. And because we always tell people faith, family, finance, we've been saying that forever. That's been something on my calendar. Every calendar I got going years back over a decade, faith, family, finances. And of course, we've added fitness and fun. And like I said, Sonia already said that she remembers the fact that she's going to get up and do that. So it's in her calendar, but it's in her mental process of her calendar because it's part of her day. But some of you guys, if you're not in that space yet, you may have to block it off so you can stay true to your calendar. And that's what it is or something, man. So you did a great job sharing that process so people can learn to focus on the calendar. We're going to actually do a calendar training because there's ways of how you can prepare, figure out. She told you how she identified leaders. This is different individual groups and not different individual people are sponsored. I'll find people through the people, and then we identify who we're going to run with. And that'll be a whole nother training that we have. But I need everybody on the call, guys, to understand that you guys heard from a young lady who absolutely, her and her husband are absolute, strong leaders in this industry. They know how to help people succeed. They've been entrepreneurs on, whether it's this business, online business, direct sales businesses. They've been doing this for a lot of years. So learning how to incorporate these things has been something that they have become specialized in. So you guys got information that you absolutely need today for all of you who are entrepreneurs and business owners like myself and other people. So great job on that, young lady. I appreciate that. But I also want to say this to everybody, guys, as we go into next phase. I'm not going to do all the training today. I just want to drop a couple of nuggets, but I'm going to let her do what she did, and then I'm going to actually bring in another young lady to share some additional insights with you on how to take this calendar and add some additional skill sets. Because you heard Sonia train the other day and talk about how to do sales and how to do retail, and she's been very good at that over the years and still to this day. But sometimes you want to hear it over and over in different ways, because our businesses are and are, write that down, retail and recruiting, not rest and relaxation, as retail and recruiting. If Business 101 is R and R, the first two ways we get paid, Sonia, is R and R, retail and recruiting. It's the same thing. But the great thing is this, that's Business 101 for all of you guys who understand this. She told you that she does interviews for her other business. You know what that is? That's recruiting. You got me? So that means she's still retailing and recruiting. It's still the same thing. You can take the same strategies and skill sets that we teach you here to go on and apply them in other areas of business out there. So what we're teaching you is real Business 101. When we're teaching you how to go out here and find people and do 30 and 5, it's a strategy that you can focus on, but it gives you a time frame and a strategy that you gotta stay committed to. A lot of people are not getting it done because you're not scheduling it. Like she said, you got to schedule, this is the time that I'm going to do 30. You just kind of randomly pop it on your phone. And when you pop on your phone, you start doing it. Then all of a sudden your mind goes off to, let me get online, see if anybody says something. Let me get on TikTok. Let me get on Instagram. So because you don't have it scheduled and blocked off, you're thinking about it. Then you want to go check something else. It's kind of like back in the days when we would bake, right? I don't know about now. I still bake at times, right? But I just naturally know not to make a loud noise, not to do things. But people back in the days, they'll start baking. Then if you're a kid like I was, I see my mother baking, I run in, she not looking, I'll go in there and I'll stick my finger in the middle of it and it'll flatten out. And I close it back and run back and like I didn't do anything, right? So sometimes you can't put your finger in it before it's done. You can't put your finger in it prematurely. You gotta allow this thing to do what it does. Deborah, you know what I'm talking about, Deborah. I see your head laying back, so you get what I'm saying. But these are real things. So when we're talking, guys, I want you to understand, because we're training everybody and we give you strategies, but a lot of times it's mindset, because people are so accustomed to loss, they're accustomed to destruction, they're accustomed to chaos, all the things that they're accustomed to, and that's caused by a lot of events that we can't even understand. And we so accustomed to those things and stuff, man, that we'll allow those things into our life. That means you have your calendar, and because you're accustomed to the chaos, you're accustomed to challenges, you're accustomed to all these things. Instead of focus on your business the way you focus on your boss's business, because trust me, no matter, even though you're accustomed to those things, if you have these things going on during your time of work for your boss, you ain't taking off. You ain't doing nothing. Your behind is right there at your boss's business. Then when it comes to your business, well, Sonia, you understand, my family came in town. I was about to do it, but my cousin called me. I was about to do it, but my mama. Your mama called you on your way to work and said, Mom, I got to hang up. I'm just getting to my job. And you're off the phone and you go to work. So if you can do those things for your boss's business, if you know that you have 2 times that you've actually been late to your job and they give you 1 more before they fire you, you don't tell that cousin that shows up on unexpectedly when they open the door. Because I had people tell me, listen, I couldn't get on a call, Mr. Scott. I couldn't come to the meeting. This is for years they would say this. Couldn't come because my family member, they came from out of town. You understand? And I'm like, yeah, I also understand that if you had 2 strikes and that 3rd strike is about to be, that means you're going to lose your job. You open that door and your cousin there, you're going to be like, hey, cuz, hey. You're not going to say, hey, Sonia, I can't come in. You're going to say, cousin, listen, I got to get out of here. The fridge was over here. The couch is over there. The washer's upstairs. I see you when I get off. Holla. And you're going to make it to work on time because you don't want to have 3 strikes and you are out. When it comes to this business, guys, it's the same thing. You have to lock it in. Lock yourself in, put yourself in a state of mind that you're going to see just this thing through your calendar. Once you put it on there, you lock it out. If you have a 3-way call schedule, put it on your calendar. I tell people all the time, if I have a call schedule and you call me randomly, I'm not going to answer it because it's a scheduled call. If you happen to call me, don't take no offense to it. It's just on my calendar. But if you also call me randomly, say, Mr. Scott, can you do a three-way call? If I have something else on my calendar, I can't just do the three-way call. So the best thing to do is to call and say, will you be open during these times? This is not just something to talk about, guys. Write this stuff down because it's really important. Because learning to book this, learning to have your time booked out, because when you start to grow, you're going to have so many people calling, like a lot of you guys are calling. It can become overwhelming. Am I making sense? So we're giving you this just additional tidbits to what she's sharing when she's talking about the calendar, because the greatest shift of wealth is happening. It's happening right now. It's going to go from those who have to those who have not. And if you want to get into the way of that, you have to be prepared for these things. If you want to be able to receive those things, you're going to have to be able to get yourself out of this chaotic state of mind that you're accustomed to and learn to be able to be on point. Now, again, I understand that even my person like myself, I've had to learn to put things on my calendar, but I also be a person that my imagination will allow me to believe some of the most uncanny, crazy things, and I can make a lot of crazy things happen. But if I don't, I still don't allow me to put in a space where I have a lot of false hope. And I want to go really deep into a lot of that stuff tonight, but I'll do that tomorrow because I want to actually introduce you guys to another young lady that's going to be able to give you some things that you can actually add to your calendar this week. She's a retail giant, just like Sonia Atchison. She's in TLC for many years, been able to do some dynamic work herself, earn money online and offline. Went to another company, was able to do the same thing. See, once you learn these strategies, no matter where you are, what happens, you can do the same thing because all products is all retailing and recruiting. And this young lady was able to build an amazing business. She came back, and since she came back, she was able to recruit 30, 33, 34, 35 people in the course of the time that she just got started back into the company. In a short period of time, she's already hit the rank of director. So she's actually going to be able to give you some additional skill sets and mindsets on things that you can do to literally retail these products and get yourself in this week right here prepared for this end of the week, which is Thursday, the end of the work week. Thursday, write that down. I don't care if you know it, write it down so you can see it. Thursday is the end of the work week, and I want to make sure that everybody on this call by Thursday, end of the work week, you have some additional strategies and ways that you guys can literally take what she gives you today, add some additional value to your family, to yourself. Use the value that she gives you, whether that means monetary or mindset, and take that value and literally help yourself this week to hit the goal that you set for yourself. So let me introduce you guys this young lady who's a master at retail, a master at recruiting. She knows exactly how to make it work. Ms. TK Walker. Ms. Walker, take it away, young lady. Let me give you a chance to unmute yourself because I mute everybody out. Can you see it, young lady? There we go.
I can. Thank you so much, Mr. Jason F. Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
Production and having me on your platform. Sonia, you did an amazing job, and I was just smiling the whole time because we do some of the same things. But I'm gonna keep it short because I know he only giving us so many minutes to this. But this is my forte. This is my niche. I go into bank up and rank up mode. So I hope you guys catch it. Okay. I put something in the Telegram, and I want you to follow. Something that Sonia did say, and I think my motto go along with it. It's not what people tell you that hurts. It's what people don't tell you. I could tell you I made 20,000, but how? Right? How did I make 20,000 outside of the binary? Or how did I make 10,000? Or how did I hit this rank? So I do a lot of my calendar, like follow up Sundays. Why I like to follow up on Sunday? Because people are chill, they church, they in a good mode. They winding down from the weekend, and then they got to get up and go to work tomorrow. So you're gonna probably get the most replies on a Sunday. So when it comes to retail, I sell with the sample, and I sample to sell it. Well, what do you mean, TK? If somebody purchased a bag of watermelon, a whole month supply, I'm gonna give them one lemonade and one fruit punch and one original. Don't be giving all your stuff. One is good enough for them to taste whether or not they go like that lemonade, right? I got examples. So also, if somebody buy a lemonade, a whole month supply, so you got to be careful with your sample because you don't want to just be giving stuff away. If somebody buy a whole month of lemonade, which is my favorite, I'm going to give them one lemonade one watermelon, one fruit punch, and one tropical punch. Does that make sense to you guys? Because what happens is, even though they knew they liked that lemonade, if they taste that watermelon, now they got an option. Now they gonna come back to you. Now you done entice them to say, "Ooh, this ain't the only thing she got. Hey, you remember you sent me that watermelon? Can you give me that? Or can you get both?" So you just upgrade. They may get the lemonade and the watermelon this time, okay? And then I sample. When I sample, I'm not giving them 4 sachets. That's not sampling. You basically done gave them a purchase away. I'm giving them 1. And when it comes to detox, when it comes to coffee, when it comes to products like that, I'm giving them 1. Okay. Because you want to make sure you maintaining the balance of your inventory. Okay. I said something. Happy Sunday. Hey, ladies. Seeing if you got your products and have you got started, trying them. I did 2 things. Made sure that my customer service was up to par, that they got their products in a timely manner, and have they got started. How many times have you said, I got a sample and I sent her the products and she ain't even tried? Well, did you follow up? Did you ask them? Did you, as the person who sent them the products, stay on them and say, hey, I need you to get started? A lot of them say, I got it. I'm going to start tonight. You just need to send them a friendly reminder. Going back to the calendar, I work this business like I'm working a job, which I do. A lot of you feel like if a customer cash app you, Zelle you got to go to the post office that day. No, you don't. I have my mailing days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm sorry that you Zelle me on a Saturday. I'm not going to the post office until Tuesday. I'm sorry that you cash out me Monday. I'm not going to meet you today. You're going to get it mailed on the days that I said that I'm going to mail. That goes along with the calendar. This is the time that I say if an order is in from Friday to Monday, I know that I'm going to my post office run is on Tuesday at 1:00. If it got in anything after I come from that post office, it's gonna have to wait until I go back Thursday, okay? Because this is your business. People can't rush Amazon even with Prime. Prime say it'll be here tonight and it still don't come to the next day. Does that make sense to you guys? So I collect my money on certain days and I place my orders on certain days as well. Let's see. Another thing that I have been doing for years. 4 years, I promise you, if anybody been a part of my organization, my team, they can go back and say, TK been preaching the same thing. On Sunday, guess what I do? I add new friends. Why I'm so successful, I have a stronger retail base than I promise you. It's because I do not advertise or promote to the same people. I was telling Jason today, I have a psychology degree, so I'm gonna tell you how the mind works. If you add 40 new people today, they are nosy. Okay. So because you added them today, the first thing you go do on Money Making Monday, put some your products in the stories. They don't know you, right? So now you putting products in the story on Monday, your NutriBurst. Every Monday, Money Making Monday, every Sunday, you should be adding new people. Okay. Because a lot of y'all tell the truth. I look on some of my business partners page and I get on them. I watch them. I say, TK, you be up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, yeah? Because I've been watching you for 30 days with 987 friends and the max is 5,000. No wonder you're not winning. What are you doing? I'm teaching you you can't keep promoting to 984 people. You can't keep promoting to the same 3,464 people. Can you add some more people? Where do you find people? In groups? I got a group here in Houston say, looking for new friends, right? I'm a single woman. Look, I be in all these kind of different groups, but my whole point is to network with these people. And so you got to add new people. And when you add new people, guess what? It's not an overnight thing, but I promise you how it works is if you keep being consistent, in about 2 or 3 weeks, out of those 30, 40 people that you added today on Sunday, 2 or 3 gonna buy the product. They want to lose weight, but they want to watch you and see, are you consistent? So you can't just post it on Monday and then they don't see another story to the Friday. Does that make sense? Okay. So and then go and your algorithms now are messing up because you got people, I'm sorry, excuse my French, that are dead on your timeline. They are deceased. Go delete them people. The ones who took a break, go delete them people. The people that gained bagels holding up signs, go delete them people. A person who haven't posted since 2023, go delete them people. Okay? So, and then I'm finna wrap it up. SmartShip, okay? SmartShip has been the foundation of my businesses. In my previous opportunity, I was the headliner of coming up with a method that took the company to its height, and I was the person. So I'm gonna try this here. I'm gonna give you guys options. I like to give people options, not taking away from anything that you have already learned or been taught as far as retail, but I believe that if you show people how to get their SmartShip free, everybody stay on 120. So I'm gonna give you just a couple options, and then I'm gonna turn it back over to Mr. Scott. So your SmartShip, I would suggest, I'm only suggesting that you put it on 3 bottles of NutriBurst. You know why? A liquid vitamin. Because whether you 2 years old, 10 years old, 20, 60, or 40, everybody need a liquid vitamin. Okay? What you're gonna do, if you cannot sell 2 bottles of NutriBurst in 30 days, I don't know if direct sales is for you, because you want to be able to pre-sale those bottles before your SmartShip comes out. Now, for my personal team, I think I heard that Rebirth SmartShip is on the 10th. Is that right, Miss Atchison?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, the 10th. Okay. So that means I'm gonna be in alignment with that. My team is on the 1st to 5th, and I have my reasons for that, but that gives you a whole window to help some people do more things. But if your SmartShip is set on the 10th, then on the 6th, 7th, 8th, you need to be posting NutriBurst, making videos about NutriBurst, so those people can send you $75. $75, you sold 2, the other one is for you. Because I'm pretty sure all 69 of us take this liquid vitamin, right or wrong. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be on SmartShip. Okay. So that's for the people who are, okay, put a 1 in the chat if you feel like you're a recruiter, that you do more recruiting than retailing. And then put a 2 if you're a retailer, because I need to see who I'm speaking to right quick. Oh, Jason, we got some people who like me, who like to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for the people who feel like, I'm not really good at retailing, and those are the people on my team who do the 3 bottles of NutriBurst, because they go do the NutriBurst, and the other 2 they done got they money back from that. Okay, the people who like money, they put it on 3 bags of detox, because each bag of detox is worth $125. Let me do the math for you. You got 3 bags of the tea, whether it's fruit punch, lemonade. So you got to pick your favorite, because you got to know your artist. Right. So say mine is lemonade. So I got 3 bags of lemonade. That's 125. That's 125 dollars per bag, because that's 5 people for 5 for 25 times 3 is what, $375. So subtract that, I done made a profit on my SmartShip and still got some money to pay a water bill. Mm-hmm. You see how that works? Okay, Mr. Scott, I got a whole bunch to say, but I'm gonna turn it back over.
You good. Go ahead and do it, because I don't want you to feel like you got to rush it, because I want to make sure they get it the way they got to get it, so it makes sense to them.
Okay, everybody good? Mm-hmm. Like, I get it. This is my forte. This is my niche. I like doing stuff like this. So the SmartShip is the founder. Thank y'all so much. Y'all so welcoming. Okay. So the SmartShip is the foundation, right? And so when you do that, the secret is that whenever you know your SmartShip is coming out, you pre-sell that particular SmartShip item, and you gotta stay consistent. So when Total Life Changes hit your account, the money is already there. Okay. Let me go back up to some more notes. I got a whole bunch of other retail notes. Okay, here's a script. Okay, because I've been going on, and I know it's gonna happen, right? So on your friend list, when you take your friend list, right, it says, it gives you option, people you recently added and people less interactive, right? You want to go on the least interactive, because I'm trying to help y'all find some people that's been dead. Sometimes we feel lazy about it, but been dead. Good morning. I know it's been a minute, but I would love for us to have a conversation today, if you don't mind and have time. will you be free this morning? I ain't said nothing about total life changes. I don't want them to know nothing. I just want to get them on the phone. A lot of times, I can't speak for how it worked for other people. But when you already tell them that, hey, I want to talk to you about an opportunity or a total life change, they not anxious. Does that make sense? And I'm just using my medulla oblongata. So they don't know what TK want to talk about. But when they do give me their phone number, I'm excited. I haven't spoken to you in a long time. I just catching up with you, right? And now, if they haven't spoken to me in a long time, guess what they're gonna do? Go to my timeline to find out what it is that I've been doing. You see what I'm saying? And I'm really just checking up on them. I'm really building up that relationship. And then if we go into business, then we can. But I started a foundation. Remember, Ms. Atchison said, foundation of our business. You hear the word foundation. Mr. Scott, Nikki said, we are building a foundation. So the foundation is how, if you're not a massive recruiter, and everybody know, and Ms. Atchison and Jessica attest to this, I was just known as a retail person at first. But now I can recruit my butt off because you got to have a balance. I tell the team, a lot of people feel like they are introvert and the people feel like they are extrovert. I know me, I was always an extrovert, but I had to learn how to be an introvert as well. You got to have a balance. And if you're an introvert person who reserved, you got to find that balance and to come outside, because remember, you said this is what you wanted. My why has not changed in 10 years. It's been Shay and Leah. Everybody knows Shay and Leah is everybody's Facebook niece, okay? My why haven't changed, but sometimes our purpose do, right? So my why is still there, but the purpose of me to keep going after you have been successful is knowing that other people have gravitated and want to be able to win. And I'm in that season where it's definitely not about my 21 and 23-year-old girls right now. It's more so about knowing that this industry really works. If he took me from being homeless and sleeping in a car to being able to make a couple $1 million in this industry over the last couple of years and still being able to provide for my girls and they're in college, then I know this industry works. We all have to be, I'm still coachable. I'm still teachable. I'm still in the mode of personal development. Like, I have seen the growth and change in myself. So I want everybody to understand that this industry is building relationships, right? Where you build that foundation and be able to tap in into what that person needs. So you have to be consistent, though. I see a lot of people get in business like TLC. You get excited, you just get on the Zoom, but you never post. 3 things that I make sure that I post on social media, and don't have your timeline funny. I was looking on Sonia page today. Make sure you post family. People want to know you're a real person. Whatever your faith is, sometimes you got to talk about God. You got to thank him on your timeline. Then it's okay to post something funny, crack a joke. You never know that joke that you told that morning really help somebody from commit suicide or being depressed that day because you were being funny or you praise God in a way. Do engagement posts. A lot of you don't understand it'll help your algorithm if you just simply ask them a question. Like when Valentine's Day came up, hey, I'm thinking about going out on a date. Should I wear a red dress or a black dress? Right? Give them I think I got a couple. Let me go to my page now. They're really good engagement posts, and you can turn it into some money. Let me see. I don't want to go too far. And make sure you are posting your Cash App, your Venmo, and all those things on there. Talk about your kids, talk about your grandkids. Like, some of you are on social media for nothing. I'm on there to get paid. Okay, I'm not trying to be cute at all. I'm really on there engaging, getting paid, going in the inbox. And what you have to see, do not go by likes. A lot of people who do not like your posts, they will jump in your inbox in a minute. Okay. You can start saying, hey, it's 6 a.m. in Atlanta, Georgia. Who up with me right now? Who on the grind? And tell me what your name. They will engage with you back. Let's see. The guy has been good to me this morning. If he been good to you, say amen. Do stuff like that, you guys. And make people laugh. So Jason, I am gonna turn it over to you so we can Make sure we're in a timely manner. I like to not try to overexert people with a lot of stuff, but we got next Sunday and the Sunday after that, and then I got a lot of notes for years, okay? But I'm gonna be respectful of people's times. There you go, Coach. And I appreciate everybody for listening and tuning in.
Guys, if you guys got some amazing notes from Sonia and from TK Walker, please put some fires in the chat. I know TK just literally lit it on fire just now. Sonia, make sure she lit it on fire. Give you guys some strategies for the calendar. TK, give you some strategies to put into your calendar today so you can actually make sure you have some results. And for us, it's really important that people learn to earn. It's really important that we learn to support our families and build an amazing business model that just doesn't pay just for the moment, but for a lifetime. Myself and TK, as we was talking today, I was telling us, I said, we always been great for years. I said, we always had a lot of the same philosophies, a lot of the same things. As she went on to go discover more of herself and with other companies, and because most of my insight come from me having done what I'm doing at this level in different companies. So you learn different things. And as she went on to do other things, she learned things about herself, learned things about people, had a chance to see and identify different things. And she was able to even refine. She was already great when she was here before, but she's become greater because she's learned to refine all the things that she's done. And this call is designed for you guys to refine all these things that you've learned, all the things that you've been able to experience, and just know, guys, that you're learning from the best of the very best of the very best in this moment. So Miss TK Walker, I'm super excited for you, young lady. Amazing job that you shared tonight. So thank you for sharing that right there. And of course, Miss Sonia Atchison, thank you so much, young lady, as well. I'm gonna say a couple of things. How many people do I have on this call that are vets? I want to know that as well. How many people are vets? If you guys are vets, just put like a one in the chat. I'm saying that because I was talking with Sonia and Jay. I just sent a quick text, and I want to talk about it more later. I want to actually do a vet call, a veteran call. That I want to actually have like a call, just a relaxed call, kind of talk about some things to other veterans, so people you may know that are veterans. Hey, Jolie, what's going on? You guys may happen to be knowing other people who are veterans that may be in a space where they want to see how they can actually earn some additional income. I want to know other veterans on the line because I may use your testimonial with things you may have been through, why this company has been beneficial to you being a vet as well. Because this is the thing, we not only have people who are veterans that can make money in this business. Some of them are looking, but also we also have one of the products, Sonia, right? That's pet food. And many of us don't even think about the fact that we have a pet food line, and it may be a temporary thing that we're doing with the company. But what's going to take it that we're maybe more than just temporary is how well we actually can show with this partnership we have that is actually beneficial. Now, imagine if we're on a line and we're actually selling more of the products or something in that way, and you generate. I'm not sure exactly how much volume you generate, Sonia, things like that, but I just want you to know, guys, to know that it can generate something. It can give your people and your customer base who may already own pets a chance that they can start to incorporate this into their. I mean, I'm gonna buy it anyway. It's almost time for me to buy another bag of pet food. I normally go to one of the big companies that I may purchase from, Costco or something like that, and get a big bag. But I may start getting it for myself. I might as well start getting it for myself, my own pet, and get paid for that process. So, but because vets are in a place, guys, where they're looking and they're in a space to where they realize that some of them may have been they wasn't looking for them to be where they are right now, where they're losing jobs, and they put themselves in a situation where money is not what they want it to be. Now we have an opportunity that many of them can actually sell. And you said, yeah, we sell that, Sierra. Yep. Matter of fact, go and see a back office. See, a lot of you guys didn't know we had that. They haven't really promoted it in that way. And I want you guys just to know that's there. So as we start to wrap up the call, guys, I want to just share those things with you because you had some great training. So it's nothing for me to really train or retrain on because you already got what you needed from these amazing ladies that share with you guys tonight how to focus on your calendar and some things and strategies you can put into your calendar tonight. Scheduling some things for put it. I mean, make sure you actually start to use some of the engagement posts that TK was talking about, and start looking. Matter of fact, you can go to her page. So TK, if you want, you can actually drop your IG in the chat. Sonia, drop your IG in the chat as well. Matter of fact, drop my IG in the chat as well. And others that's on this call, if you actually have a chance to go and you see what they're posting, sometimes you just say, do it. If they're doing it, just do it. If they're saying it, just say it. If you're not sure exactly what route to take while you figure it out, just just use the same type of thing, because your audience, hers is hers. It may not be the same thing, but you can still use the same information, and it'll give you an opportunity, guys, that as you start to figure things out, it'll give you a jump start, so you don't have to sit back and try to think and overthink it. But guys, we're in a great space. We're already up as far as getting hitting director. Now, this is the key thing about this for you guys to understand. We have two different teams at this moment. On Wednesday, I'm looking to be able to combine the teams on the call. All right, so I'm giving you guys just a preamp to that right there. I told Twyla already, I want to actually have a call where I'm gonna have Drew on the call on Wednesday. Me and her do a call together, because even though we're on two separate teams, I want everybody to win. I want people to have the same super opportunities to grow and learn different things, but I want people to know it's a friendly competition. I don't want people to lose financially or economically in order for us to win. On one of my calls several days ago, I told people it's kind of like people find a wallet. So when people say, "Oh my," I'll see people find a wallet or find money, and they'll post on social media, "Oh my God, God bless me today. I found $300, but that was somebody's rent, somebody's car note, somebody's something." So in order for you to win, you felt that somebody else had to lose, and you felt that was a blessing for God. But for somebody else, they felt that was the end of the world, that they lost it all. So I understand that process, that when people are even competing, they don't always want to be in a space where they feel like they're not winning. So we're going to use all the energy for both of us. I may do it a couple of times, put that in place so myself and Drew can actually combine forces on one call and have an interview style where people can actually invite for me and her to get on the call. And you guys got people with veterans or entrepreneurs and things, and and people, of course, that may be in that space where the Drew is not just an influencer. It wasn't that she just was on Love and Hip Hop. She's a business owner as well. You got me? So you have an opportunity to invite people who may that seeing her may get them onto the call, or get people on the call that they may just have a chance to be inspired by something I may say. So get them onto the call on Wednesday, but you still have tomorrow, you still have Tuesday, but I'm giving you guys a heads up that we're going to combine it. So therefore, as you're working towards what we have going on, you focus on the expansion of this team, but also focus on the expansion of somebody else's dreams and their teams as they're building their own business as well. But the bottom line is we're going to whip them still, because this is competition. All right. So guys, but in that thing, I need everybody to remember that part of our initial jump was that we was planned out a couple of weeks prior to the jump. It just happened to be in alignment that because Sonia had some things planned out, that by the time that day came, it came together. Me, myself, I'll plan things out as well. Like this week is a planning week that we have as well. The 10th is what we've been doing with my organization for years. And the thing is this, because I've been doing it for years, even when everybody was hitting highs and lows, I always maintained stability through my organization, because I teach a concept and a strategy and a mindset of why we do it that way and everything else. And the reason why I like to do it on one day, Sonia, is because if you say the 1st through the 5th, and the third, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and the 3rd ends on a Thursday, that means half of the smart should go there and then another half goes to the next week. But if everybody focuses on the same day, that one day can give you an opportunity. Some of you guys right now already have, let's say you got to understand, you already have about 9 people in your organization. 120 times 9 people running the smart shit means that day you hit director. That day you requalified director. That day it happens. And then that day is the end of the week or the first of the week or the middle of the week. You just know the week that you hit it on that date. You can start to plan for that entire week being a massive week for everybody, because that day becomes the cherry on top. Smart shit becomes the cherry on top of everything that Sonia talked about today, the learning to actually schedule and focus in, and how to go out here and be engaging on social media and actually get some sales done so you can literally feed your family. So guys, if you got anything from this call today was an powerful, impactful call. Put some 8s into the chat before we end the call. Put some 8s. I'm saying, and after you put some 8s, I want you to say, I am, so I can tell you that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Because there's a phrase that they say in Africa called Ubuntu. And Ubuntu basically means that I am because we are. I am who I am because of who we are. And all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe it all to my mother. And many of you guys on this call, we have our ancestors that we give everything, all the homage and everything else back to. Because inside each and every one of us are the cellular memories of generations of survivors and fighters, and those who have died and those who will not die, so that we can be free. And freedom is the right of all sentient beings, but we're never free in this world until we're financially free. So you guys was given some of the blueprints today to go ahead and accomplish your dreams and your goals. So I appreciate you guys logging onto the call. And with that, I'm going to open the mics for everybody on the call to be able to say good night. But give me a second here. Make sure you guys have the opportunity for you guys to say good night and have a pleasant tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
everybody.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Night.
Jason Scott, TK.
Nuggets. Good night. Good night.